I hope so.
You can go in, yeah.
Yeah. Where's the president's office?
It's somewhere inside. I'm not too familiar with
Okay.
the campus. But
Okay.
yeah. Okay, yeah, right here. Yep.
Have you guys arrested anybody yet?
Yeah, you can go ask Sergeant Brown. They're the one
Oh,
making the arrest.
okay.
Just here.
Understood. Okay, I just wanted to ask you. Okay, I just wanted to ask you a question. How many people? I know. I just want to ask how many people you have in custody.
Thank you.
Hey, do you know how many in custody? Yeah. 4 women, 2 guys. Okay. I know there's still some in the office?
I think so.
Okay. Now, are you guys deciding not to go on the green?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can try.
All right, I'm going to go. All right, but they're not stopping you, so. Okay. All right, I'm going. Do you know where's the office? To the right? Oh, okay. Yeah, right there. Okay.
You're coming right out.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we have a major demonstration here at Brown. We're going to go right up to where it's happening. Thank you, Robin. Folks, this is Brown. You can see a number of students won't leave the office of the president. Here comes some more. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's number 7 in custody. That's the office of the president right there, where the students refusing to leave. Folks, share that you're watching. This is the campus of Brown University, where they are arresting and taking out these students that are refusing to leave the office of the president. We're on the campus of Brown. There's a huge, you can see they have formed like a gauntlet. These are all Palestinian protesters. So, folks, here's the skyline. Here's the Providence Police assisting Brown. And you can see they have formed a gauntlet. And it looks like they're going to go in and take out some more. I'm not sure how many students are inside. But this, as you can tell, was a huge turnout here. This is the office of the president. President Christina Paxson, and then we're going to watch when they are, so they take them out right through there. So this has been going on I'm going to say for about an hour. Folks, again, you can share that you are watching. Type in someone's name. This is the Brown University campus in Providence. A number of students. This is a Palestinian support protest. And a number of students are being arrested and taken out. We're going to watch when they bring the next one out. So they're all refusing to leave the office of the president. Obviously prepared to get arrested. And we're going to watch as they bring the next one out. Folks, this is all the build-up to tomorrow is a huge protest at Textron. We're planning on being live there, folks, on the scene, live stream. Again, if you know a college student, you can type in their name. I believe right now there are... You just saw one taken out. I have a few more besides that. I'm not sure how many were inside the office. But Providence Police are here along with Brown Security. Right here, this is through the main gates on the Brown campus. You can see the president's office is right there. It's kind of in the middle of your screen. See the lights on right there? And then that door to the right, that's the door to the office of the president where they're taking them out. There's a large number here. I'm going to say a couple hundred. All for Palestine, all for the Palestinians, I should say. And this is the first of what could be many, many arrests over the next couple of days. Wednesday night, good evening, one and all. One on the scene live stream. They just went in to get some more, or another one, I should say. We saw them taking one of them out. I just want to wait and get them more to the when you see them, put them in the van. You can see all the big police presence here with the transport vans, and we'll be able to hear when the next one comes out, because you hear the crowd all kind of cheer on and tell them that they love them for being arrested. See the Palestinian flag. All right, here comes another one. All right, here comes the next one. You're going to see them bring them right out. This is the next one arrested, folks. From my understanding, refused to leave the office of the president. Yeah, here we go. Right there.
Step all over John.
Yeah. Councilman.
How are you?
Good. I figured you'd be there. You're not getting arrested? No? What about the town hall tomorrow, folks? It's Councilman Miguel Sanchez. So,
The audience job feature.
yes. Well, so you know so many people watch. You're also on TikTok now. Oh, are you set to do an interview here?
I don't know who it is.
Oh, okay. Hey, Councilman, you know, you've talked about it, but it also, You don't feel you owe an apology to the Jewish people for the River to the Sea chant that you were chanting that Saturday, October 21st? Now that you say, oh, I didn't know they were saying that and I didn't know what it means. Now that you know, now do you offer an apology?
Yeah, so, John, do you have video of me chanting?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I have video of you chanting.
Why haven't you publicized
I have
that?
posted it. I have. So I have video of you saying, hey, hey, hi ho, Israel's gotta go. Right in front of Providence Place Mall. So you don't want to disavow that in any way.
You want me to what?
You don't want to disavow what you said.
No, so I've been very clear.
You haven't been clear.
In my entire
No, you talk
thing.
about civilians, but you don't talk about the hostages.
For peace,
Yeah, but you don't talk about the hostages. Love?
in all that region.
What about the hostages?
Just like I wish you nothing but love.
What about the
happiness,
hostages, though,
for
Councilman?
yourself.
Why won't you
I
denounce
understand
Hamas?
You try to bring a lot of hatred to
Not at all.
You
No,
like to
I
divide.
defend Israel,
You
Councilman.
like to divide.
Yeah, I'm not pro-terrorists.
At the end of the day,
I'm not pro-terrorists. No, you're not.
That's
No, you're not.
what I'm telling you.
No.
If you don't wanna believe what
Why
I
do you
have to
hate the
say,
Jews? Why are you anti-Semitic?
I'm very
You marched with an anti-Israel rally.
absolutely.
What do you mean absolutely not? Those are their words.
I have nothing in love for people in the Jewish community.
You don't. That was an
I've been
anti-Israel
in
march.
communication with a lot of leaders in
What?
the Jewish
One thing I
community.
want to mention before. Hold on. One more thing, Councilman. You got to represent everybody. You got to represent everybody, even your Jewish constituents. Folks, there you have it. Councilman Sanchez. I'm not sure who that was that came up with the light. So he's just for peace. All right, folks. Here's another one getting arrested.
So you're a freshman here, you're seeing a protest that is having students run out in handcuffs. What is this like for your first year coming on the campus?
Yeah, so I've come in around, I think that's very political minute. Yeah, it's all cars, and I'm expecting people to fight for what they believe in. I think that's an important value. So, if you fight for this thing, you kind of do it in the law, and you like
You don't really disagree.
Yeah, so I'm a Jewish Catholic, I'm Orthodox religious Jewish Catholic, and most of my life revolves around the Jewish community here. Being religious, a lot of my time spent on prayer services in the morning, etc. And I feel that most of my friends, most of the other people in my surrounding places, expect a lot of my time. And most of them are very much support Israel, and they're ready to defend themselves in response to the attack from Hamas on the Israelis. Many of whom are children and babies. Raping, bleeding, and cutting off babies' heads. And I think that this view that Israel is responding above their race is really not represented by folks who are skeptical. So they can't stand strongly with Israel. They have their right to defend themselves and claim this occupation, and should not have to worry about not existing tomorrow. While people who support while who would say that Israel doesn't have the right to defend themselves, who could say that Israel doesn't have the right to do something?
So what I want to ask, I don't know if there's already but when you come out of campus, you see something like this, you see prisoner transport vans, you see weapons, you see hundreds, what is going on?
I have said that this could happen online campus, that these people doing Judaism as a platform to show their truth, while the political state of Israel is not something that should be fought for the religious ideals. We shouldn't force those ideals on and it's disturbing to me, and they're using songs like from my Jewish heritage, and they're using the songs for good identity while I try and keep those two Israelites. They're using it as like, since I'm a Jew, therefore I have a right to have an opinion, or for the never to have an opinion, but since I'm a Jew, my opinion matters.
When I look at some of the conversations, they did have a couple of questions about
Folks, again, there's one student.
driving factor.
Just 1 second.
And just personally, that's not the way I would approach an issue by breaking law in order to get publicity. I'd rather just fight for what I believe is right and peacefully protest with the code of conduct and not break the law to get this publicity.
I owe you. I got you. All right, folks, we're going to go back inside. Again, we're at Brown. There's some of the students you can see inside the transport van. Now, folks, again, this is the Brown University campus. That's the office of the president, where a number of students are refusing to leave, and they're being arrested. It's a huge pro-Palestinian march. You did see that was Councilman Miguel Sanchez, by the way. I don't understand. He will not disavow Hamas. He won't mention anything about the hostages. I don't understand it. So this is where they take them out. The president's office is right inside that door. Here you see, this is Brown Security and Providence Police right here. So that apparently, that's the president's office right there. And there's a number of students that are inside the hallway here. And they're one by one taking them out, arresting them, removing them. 12. Wow. Oh, 8 more. All right, 8 more, folks. For those that are keeping track at home. 8 people still inside. Those that are keeping track at home. Folks, 1 on the scene live stream. Here comes. Then they take the next one. Folks, and then they walk the gauntlet of the crowd. Now, I do want to mention that this is very organized with Brown Security. It's organized with Providence Police. And now this is peaceful, by the way, but still they are being arrested, refusing to leave the office of the president, and they're put in that transport van. I am still surprised. That was Councilman Miguel Sanchez. He didn't get arrested. See, they walk right here through the gauntlet and then right into the transport vans. Now they'll go get the next one. So they come around right down to this side. And then we'll show you the outside with the transport van. Folks, again, it's Juan on the Scene live stream right here on the Brown campus. And this is kind of the prelude to tomorrow. So here are the transport vans. And you can see them in the back. Only 8 more.
We're gonna need another transport. I need to get a setup like that so we can do that.
What's that?
I need a setup like that so
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
And every time that another student comes out, as we're about to, I can see right now, the cheers grow louder. Now, according to the student organizers I spoke with, they took steps down through the president's office and we prepared them.
Folks, you can see they do have one student in here.
That's when police gave them the extension until 5:30, and that's when Providence Police and the prisoner transport vehicles you're looking at right now began pulling up the scene. Now, I've seen roughly 10 male and female students all wearing the same shirts being put inside of the vehicles, and it's still unclear at this hour what the arrest charges actually are. I want to show you some video that was shot earlier today during this protest, and what the student organizers really told me is that they're holding this, they're calling for this
That's right. So folks, this is the gates. You gotta keep this area clear. They're gonna go bring another one. And again, this is all a big warm-up for tomorrow. We're expecting full coverage. I'm hearing tomorrow could be a little more violent at the Textron building. This is, right now it's 6:32. And right now, yeah. I don't understand why he wouldn't just say, I would like the hostages to go home. I don't get that, but we're gonna go back inside in just a moment. Folks, again, you're watching. This is live coverage, Brown University, where, oh, here comes the next one. All right, let's watch the next one come out. These are all students that won't leave the president's office. So then they're being arrested. All right, folks, they're trying to figure out all the transport vans. We're going to go back in with the crowd. It's just 6:30.
There have been times in the
Folks, I'm just thinking, imagine being a Jewish student on this campus. Here comes the next one. You're going to see them come right through the gauntlet. Listen to the crowd explode. They get all excited when they're bringing them by. Share that you are watching. These are all students inside the president's office at Brown University. Thank you for the stars, everybody. Folks, it is Juan on the ground, on the scene live stream. I was saying, I can't imagine being a Jewish student on the Brown campus right now with this going on. This is all pro-Palestine. Palestinian, I should say. And we caught up with Councilman Miguel Sanchez, who didn't have his talking points. Folks, here's where then they're going to go in, take out the next one. This is the office of the president at Brown University, President Paxson. does seem that way. Watch the reaction when they bring them out. Crowd kind of erupts. Stays at a consistent chant. I don't remember this type of chant on October 7th. I don't know. Some kind of Hamas fight song. Again, folks, you see the flags. It is Juan on the move, on the scene live stream. These are, so they had the 2 students arrested for the vandalism at Textron. And now you have these students arrested at the Office of the President. And the gauntlet goes all the way down here. And so I do want to point out, I want you to see how organized it is. And also, Brown University Police and Providence Police. You can see them inside the transport van as we walk by. Folks, here are the transport vans. You'll hear when the next arrested individual comes forward, because you can hear it right now. Here we go. All right, folks, here comes the next one. Thank you for the stars, folks. Folks, notice they all have kind of a common look. They all kind of have the, somebody's leg is sticking out there. They all kind of have the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo look.
Stay on the sidewalk, because you have to bring somebody by. You're going to be impeding the way.
Okay.
Matt, it's 3 left. They're all going to the back bit. We're going to
We don't need the side gauge.
we'll depend on if they know if we need it.
All right, folks, again, we're right at the Brown campus. These are a number of students that would not leave the office of president, the president, I should say. And we have, I'm going to say, how many students are here? I'm going to go back inside in a moment, but 250 to 300 maybe that are here. Again, folks, you're watching On the Scene live stream. Remember, you can share that you're watching, type in someone's name, put where you're watching from. You can put if you agree or disagree with the protesters. That should get some good talk in the chat. And then if you can subscribe to the page. We're planning full coverage tomorrow. And then you can also send stars to show your appreciation for this live stream coverage. You can't get anywhere else. Original content. You see some students on the other side of the street. There's talk they're going to try to spring them out of the transport vans. I don't think that's a good idea. Police are going to watch that. And you can see the one of the students right there in the transport van. So now today was a day where they were encouraging disobedience, but tomorrow it really kicks in. Again, we're planning full coverage. Check out the details on the website, dpetro.com. Tomorrow, it's my understanding the Textron building is already covered all in plastic because they know they're going to destroy it with paint. But then there's talk they're going to destroy the city of Providence as well. Folks, they're making it very clear this is anti-Israel. They are against the Jews. Sanchez couldn't even bring himself to apologize to the Jewish people. Councilman Sanchez, who should be censured, by the way. So you're watching, folks, On the Scene live stream. We can go back inside. Police are definitely watching these students right here to the back that look like they may try to make a move to free some of the prisoners. So we're going to go back inside with the crowd.
There was a taller gentleman.
I thought there was one law professor who's
Folks, look at this. Oh, now we got a drum. See, what I'm anxious to see what they're going to do when they remove the final student from the office of president, whether or not there's going to be trouble. Because this crowd doesn't look like they're going to leave anytime soon. Now they have a war drum. Here comes the next one. See how they go crazy and all yell. I love it. It's kind of cultish. This is also how they get the recruitment for the suicide bombers. It's kind of sad, the brainwashing that takes effect. Look at them all running. They want to film their friends. One of the students in the transport van said it was the most exciting thing they've ever been part of, was right then just being arrested. All right, again, folks, you're watching On the Scene live stream. The Providence Police right now, along with ground security, continue to arrest these students who will not vacate the office of the president of Brown, President Paxson. How many? I've lost track. Let me think. I think there've been at least 12, maybe more. It's going to be close to 20. They've already filled one transport van. I believe Providence Police are going to fill a second one. There's also, this is one of the protesters. They check off all the different ones when they see them come out. Like I said, it's highly organized.
I have 3.
Oh. Hey, how are you? All right, folks, we'll venture back inside. Here comes the next one. We'll watch the next one come by. See how the crowd comes to life when they bring them by, they cheer them on. It's so odd. They're all like, I love you. I love you for getting arrested. A little creepy, cultish. Now again, these are all students that won't leave the office of the president of Brown University. President Paxson, whose office is right up here. Folks, again, you're watching On the Scene live stream. If you appreciate our live coverage, your way of doing that is by sending stars. I want to thank our moderators, Rob and Ann. This is Wednesday night. It's very chilly. But I am, this is the largest number arrested I've seen in a while. We'll find out from Providence Police. But we haven't seen this many people arrested in quite some time. This could be a warm-up for tomorrow with the Textron building. Folks, our coverage tomorrow, just be watching, could start at any time. They're saying 12 o'clock, I'm hearing it may start earlier. We're going to be prepared. They're going to they want to shut down downtown. People that are supposed to be going to downtown Providence tomorrow have a right to be on guard. Oh, yeah. Hi, Carmine. They're singing in Hebrew. The world is built on kindness. Oh. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. Folks, once again, Juan on the Scene live stream. By the way, I want to thank Councilman Sanchez. I did a TikTok video on his that is rocketing right now. Totally gone viral, taking off. All right, here comes the next one. Here's one of the ringleaders. Here's the office of president. The singing folks on a rhythm like Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So there's another one for the transport van. Again, you're watching on the Scene live stream. Pro-Palestine prayer vigil rally for Gaza, where students are being arrested here on the Brown campus, being removed from the office of the president at Brown. Here's the Providence Police transport vans. They have all their prisoners working in conjunction with Brown security. Folks, we'll see what it's like on this side. Drum. It's very festive. You know, look how deep it goes. It goes pretty deep. This goes into the main quad at Brown. I think this way you get a good idea of the size. This is a good sized crowd. You know, I've covered a lot of things, and this is pretty decent. This is the largest number of arrests since the George Floyd riot of 2020. Thank you for the stars on this chilly Wednesday, folks. If you appreciate our live coverage, again, it is Juan on the Scene live stream on the Brown University campus. Right now, coming up 7 o'clock in the east, hundreds of students are on the Brown University campus. Where you have a number of students who refused. They occupied the president of Brown University's office. Right there, you can see it right here, inside where the light is. And as a result of that, they are being arrested. Providence Police are working with Brown University. And here comes the next one, I think. You're going to hear the crowd. They cheer every time they bring one of them out. It's a little eerie. Kind of reminds me of like the Manson crowd. Remember, like, they all kind of became celebrities? The Manson family members? Very similar to that. Now, just to be clear, it is peaceful. They're peacefully demonstrating. You can see police, Providence Police, Brown University. I imagine this is just a form of civil disobedience that they won't leave the office. I'm not sure what the demands are, but and then, you know, what's interesting is, like, the last student they took out was a male, and I would imagine they're a little harder to pick up and maneuver, and so it takes a little bit longer. So these could be some of the male students coming next. There you can see some of the Hamas garb, Palestinian garb. Folks, you know what else is kind of funny to me? Again, it is one on this Wednesday night. Is some of them, they look at me almost quizzical, like, "What are you doing here?" And it's, you're out here standing and protesting and getting arrested for basically against Israel and supporting the Palestinians and Hamas, and they're looking at me like I'm the odd one. There's another, you can see the headscarf. Here comes the next one. See, it's more of the males. Now, something I also want to point out. Get over there.
I saw somebody go.
Folks, some other words to listen for are when they use the words the resistance and martyrs. The resistance and the martyrs, because those are the words. They regard Hamas as the martyrs, and they regard October 7th as resistance. When we all know it was a terrorist attack. All right, now that may be the last one, because they're pulling away. Amen. All right, folks, that may be the last of the students that they've cleared out of the president's office. Again, you've been watching On the Scene live stream. We're on the east side of Brown University, right near where K&B lived. I think they're announcing now that they're going to give updates when all these individuals are going to be in court. Now, folks, tomorrow, don't forget, live coverage. Thank you for the stars, folks. If you appreciate the live coverage, say one. Thank you for being up there, going live, bringing it to us, uncensored, unfiltered. again, those are the key words to listen to. Also, if you like the way I approach Congressman Miguel Sanchez, you could send 300 stars. Listen for those words when you hear about the resistance, when you hear about martyrs. That's all code that they support Hamas, because they regard October 7th as nothing more than the resistance. I'm going to go around and see what the hell they're saying. You know what was also interesting, folks, tonight was when Councilman Sanchez, he said, and do you have a video of me chanting that? And I said, yes, I have video of you chanting it in front of Providence Place Mall, and he didn't have anything to say. So, totally busted. All right, folks, now they're all going wherever. Everyone's kind of dispersing. Boy, it's going to be a rush at Starbucks. I'll take a large frappe. Can I get like a cappuccino with goat milk? Wow, folks, again, I can't imagine if you are, if you're a Jewish student on the campus, like, good luck with this crowd. Now, this is all a warm-up. You know what we're going to do is I'm going to take a ride down to the Textron building, and we can see how it's all covered in plastic. They're already getting ready for the protest for tomorrow. So they're actually dispersing peacefully. Thank you for all the stars, everybody, on this chilly Wednesday. You know, if you want details about tomorrow, we have it on DePetro.com. Folks, I also want to point out and take a moment, and again, good evening, everybody. It is Juan on this very chilly Wednesday night, but clear out. Yes. Something that I want to point out. Let me just do a quick hello. There we are. Folks, there is Juan. So, there is Juan under the light. So, you know what's something, though, that I want to mention is when they were chanting on October 21st, those of you that saw it, do a thumbs up if you saw that. I was in the pouring rain for that protest in downtown Providence, and I was the only member of the media that was explaining about the chant, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That what they're saying is that they're going to eradicate all of the Jews in Israel. I was the only one. I don't understand. The rest of the media did not touch on that. They kind of let them go on it. I don't understand this whole narrative that the biggest threat in our area are MAGA Republicans and white supremacists. I don't get it. So, and then what, for those that missed it, and I'll repost it, and again, I was using a different mic, so I didn't have the clearest mic. Not sure what's going on up there, but I was asking the congressman, the councilman, now that he said, I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't hear it. Okay, now that you were there, and you know what it means, even though you did hear it, you were chanting it. What it's that they're being interviewed by local media.
Sorry, who are you?
We can't function. We're here because we need to make a statement. There's no choice about it.
We've spoken to students outside who are saying that the group of you were not representative of all the Jewish community on the ground. I think that goes to what you're saying. Is that, do you have any response to that? You know, there isn't a model.
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever going to be able to represent an entire ethnicity, an entire group. There's like millions. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not. We're trying to dispel the narrative that there is one Jewish voice, that the Jewish voice is in favor of the indiscriminate bombings in Gaza that has now come at the cost of over 10,000 Gazan lives. That is not the case. We're following in the footsteps of Jewish Voice for Peace, of If Not Now, and saying that we as Jews, with Jewish history, with Jewish values, with the culture and heritage of our ancestors, know that it is our duty to stand up right now and say no, and to say stop, ceasefire, and to ask our universities to do what their students are asking them.
Brown University said about 20 students were arrested for trespassing. Was this something you guys were kind of expecting as this went, that it might go this way, or how was this result?
I would say we came in there, or our peers came in there, knowing that they had a demand, and they said that they were going to stay in there until that demand was met, and they were prepared to meet the consequences.
Talk us through, you say you guys wanted to call for a ceasefire. We know that even that term can kind of bring up emotions on both sides of things. Tell me why you think that's the best kind of avenue in order for a peaceful resolution of what we're seeing with the students.
At the end of the day, we are living, I mean, I can get into the history of Israel-Palestine. I think none of us have time to do that right now. At the end of the day, we exist in Israel-Palestine, and when our families who are in Israel-Palestine exist in a cycle of violence, of constant state violence that's met by resistance, that's seen as violent, that's met with more state violence. This is not just a call for a ceasefire. This is a call for the end of a over 75-year cycle of violence. I have family in Israel-Palestine. I'm scared for them. October 7th, I haven't been able to sleep. I feel that. And in that, like, it's not a question for us about whether or not to, like, be here and demand a ceasefire. It's not a question of military strategy. None of us are here going to claim to be a military strategist for the Israeli army. We're saying we don't believe that there's a military strategy that is legitimate if it comes at the cost of over 10,000 people. I will not stand by and say that an army and a state has the best interest of the Jewish people in mind.
What about the hostages? Why not a sit-in until they release the hostages?
We came to terms with the idea that it's not a realistic demand to ask. Yeah,
Don't engage?
No, I'll engage. It's fine.
Hold on. So it's not realistic.
Do you want me to answer the question? I
Yeah.
can answer your question.
Go ahead. What about the hostages?
The same reason that the demand for a ceasefire wasn't in our demands of President Paxson. It was a demand for divestment from the investments. For that same reason, we can't expect the president of a university, to make a political statement. She is not realistically going to call for a ceasefire. She is not realistically going to call for the release of hostages. I will stand here right now. I want a ceasefire, and I want the immediate release of hostages. Yes, I will look you in the camera and say that. Absolutely. I have people from my own communities that are hostages in Gaza right now. Yes.
You're dealing with the results of today's sit-in, kind of this just ended moments ago. What's the plan moving forward? Are you planning more sit-ins, more things like this? Does this continue moving forward on your end?
I think we are taking this day by day, but what we know is that, like, this is an issue that's ongoing and it's not going to go away clearly anytime soon, and we are committed to putting everything we have out there on the line to ensure and do everything on our part that we can do within our boundaries and within our lives as students to ensure that there can be peace and safety for all of those.
What about tomorrow at Textron? Are you part of that? The protest at Textron tomorrow? You're not part of that.
We're focused on things on campus right now.
The song that you guys were singing as students were coming out today, talk to us about what that means and what kind of message you were trying to send to the students that were being taken into custody.
I mean, the message, if the song, the lyrics are like, we will build this world from love, I will build this world from love, and I think it speaks volumes to what we're trying to do. We are here out of grief and mourning, and out of a desire to see an end to this conflict and an end to this slaughter and genocide in Gaza, and we're here just for our friends who are inside, and to make our message clear.
I'll also add that the reason we sing in Hebrew, the reason I'm wearing a talit, which is a prayer shawl, is because this is core to our Jewish identity. This is not us showing up as activists as much as, like, I'd love to say that this is us showing up in something that is core to my Jewish identity, that I cannot sit silent while something like this is happening in my name, that over 10,000 people have been killed within a month in my name. I cannot sit silent. And the song is Olam Chesed Yibaneh, that we will build a world of justice. And that is the world that Jewish teachings that I have grown up learning have taught me to stand for, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I've been taught to do.
Should we label you guys as organizers or just as organizers?
Activists?
Organizers, activists, whatever. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys want to say to the
students.
Will there be
here's
more
what-
coming, more sit-ins coming until your demands are met?
I think we can't comment on what the future is right now. We're just focused on our 28 peers who.
Are you happy with the way tonight went?
No, I think we would have been happy if the demands are met.
Anything you want to say to the students, their families, the other families, the community here following this? Otherwise, before we help you get off camera.
Yeah, I want to say something. I think that it's really scary right now. The reason I'm masked is because I'm scared about the fact that there has been so much public canceling, doxing, shame for people who are choosing to stand up and say that like enough is enough with violence, with indiscriminate bombing. Anti-Semitism is real and scary. We feel it. We are Jewish students. That is not the same thing as anti-Zionism. It is not the same thing as criticizing the actions of a state in military expansionism. Those aren't the same thing. We are not self-hating Jews. I love my Jewish culture. I am loudly Jewish, and that is why I'm here.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, folks, again. Those are the organizers. Folks, a little bit of an odd moment there. They were all standing behind us. I don't know. Now they're all just standing outside of the president's office. All right, here's what we're going to do. It's Wednesday night. Let's see what time it is. I don't understand all of that, but she seems very earnest in her delivery on it. Thank you for all the stars tonight, folks. Right now it's 7:14. We're going to monitor anything else that happens. Again, don't forget tomorrow we will be in action. For some reason, they're all just standing there. We'll all be in action tomorrow. It's going to be supposedly a huge protest at the Textron building. Thank you, all the stars, folks. You've been watching On the Scene live stream.